All right, so we're working on some breakfast this morning here, and first thing we're gonna do is fry up some bacon. We're gonna make the world's greatest fried potatoes here in a little while, but that's gonna start with bacon. And we're gonna make some loaded fried potatoes. We'll talk about that as we go. But for now, get our bacon cooked up. So I get a lot of questions about how to care for things like Pathfinder skillets and Pathfinder cookware after the fact. Well, today we're cooking on the Pathfinder carbon steel skillet. And this is our original 10-inch carbon steel skillet. And yesterday I cooked on the 10-inch US made carbon steel skillet. The difference between these two is, number one, this one is spun on a lathe and it's made from a heavy gauge carbon steel, basically just raw carbon steel, okay? This is a great skillet. You can see this has been cooked in a few times, and we'll talk about that in just a minute, because that's really the best way to season these things up. However, the Pathfinder skillet I'm cooking in today, the original 10-inch Pathfinder skillet, that's made overseas incidentally, but it is considerably less money, and I have things in different price brackets so that all people can afford them, okay? And this skillet is non-stick, basically right out of the box, no seasoning required, because it is nitrided, which means it is cryogenically heat treated, and it has a nitriding process done to it that doesn't coat the skillet. It just case hardens the steel, which makes it non-porous, so it doesn't need seasoning, as something like raw carbon steel does. Stainless steel is another steel, and our stainless steel skillets don't take a seasoning really well, although you can season them. So how would you season a skillet to begin with? I'll show you. If you want your skillet seasoned, fry in it, cook bacon in it. Anything greasy, cook that stuff in it. Move it around in the skillet. Get it sloshed around there really good and coat that skillet with that grease. Get it good and hot and warm. Once you're done with it, just drain the grease off of it, wipe it down really good with a rag, and you're ready to go. You don't need to wash the skillet unless you've got something stuck to it. Then you can just put water in it, boil the water in the skillet, wipe it out again with a light rag. You can coat it with some kind of bacon grease or lard if you want to before you put it up. That never hurts anything, but it's truly not necessary on this carbon steel skillet because it's nitrided and it doesn't require seasoning. But it cooks really, really well right out of the box. So the care for it's a little easier than, say, a carbon steel skillet that does require seasoning. And that's kind of the advantage to this skillet for someone who doesn't cook outside all the time and may not care for the skillet as often. Okay, so what type of skillet should you choose? Well, that really kind of depends on what you're cooking. You can cook anything in stainless steel. You can cook anything you want to in carbon steel. The caveat with that really is carbon steel does not do good with acidic type foods. So if you're making cobblers, if you're making anything that has to do with fruits or tomatoes, highly acidic fruits and vegetables, you want to keep those away from carbon steel because it will definitely strip the seasoning off of them, all right? And it will make them stick. Stainless steel is your best bet for acidic foods, and that's why most restaurants in the world use stainless steel skillets, because they don't want to be picky and choosy about what they're cooking in those skillets. They can cook anything in them without worry. They just have to lubricate them well to keep them from sticking if it's something like a fried egg, a pancake, or something along those lines. However, the advantage of carbon steel for frying in general, things like bacon, eggs, pancakes, all those great breakfast foods that you would cook in a carbon steel skillet or a cast iron skillet, if that's what you're used to, you have better heat distribution, even heating over the surface area of the skillet with the carbon steel or nitrided carbon steel over the stainless. All right, so we've got our bacon cooked here now. Build ourselves up some grease in this pan to fry some potatoes in. So we've cooked this bacon a little bit better than I normally cook it. It's a little more well done than I normally make it because I kind of want it crunchy in the end, okay? Once it gets cooled down, I want it crunchy so I can crumble it up into my fried potatoes. Turn this down just a little bit while we're getting our potatoes ready. We don't want this grease to get overheated, okay? And we may add just a little bit to it. And I judge that by kind of looking at how much is in the skillet to begin with. It's not too bad, to be honest with you. They could use a little bit more. And I usually just use this bacon up because it's actual bacon grease. So it works real well for this application. And I'll just grab some of it out of here on a spatula real quick. Slap it in there and let it melt in with the rest of that grease that's already in there, and we should have enough at that point. And then we're just going to turn this way down for the moment. Let that melt, okay? All right, next piece of the puzzle, potatoes. Cut this dude open, make sure it's still good to go. Yep, it's fine. Get us a grater here, and we'll just start grating the potatoes into a bowl. Just like this. And for me, alone, it's not gonna take more than probably one potato. We'll see what it looks like when we're done. So now we're just gonna go in here, we're gonna grate some onion in here. We don't need a ton. We'll mix it up. We'll put about, I don't know, a quarter of an onion in there, something like that. You're gonna have a lot of moisture content between the onion and the potato here for sure. And remember, you're gonna put this in hot grease, okay? I'll show you how to fix some of that here in just a second. Okay. This is Fast Shake buttermilk pancake mix. You can buy these for about $1, and it'll make about 10 or 15 pancakes. But it's got a lot of flour in it, and so if you're camping and you've got this with you, I suggest you carry these because, especially if you're camping with kids, you want some quick pancakes, makes it really easy. If you coat this stuff with that pancake mix, it will absorb a lot of that moisture that's in those potatoes. It will also coat them a little bit, as well as the onions, before you go to the skillet. All right, now, let's set our bacon aside. Turn our stove back up. We're gonna get after this bad boy here. Now, you could use flour for this, but this is just something convenient you may already be carrying. That may make it unnecessary for you to carry flour. Now we're gonna take all of this, get it inside here, and it should be sizzling when it goes in because this grease should be nice and hot now. Spread it out in there good. Right, now it's a matter of getting these potatoes stirred around this hot grease and getting them fried up. Sure where we're at here. Turn this up just a little bit. Give her a few pumps here. Make sure you got plenty of pressure behind our stove. Get after it. All right, so one more advantage of a nitrided carbon steel skillet, like this one that's case hardened, or a stainless steel skillet is, a metal utensil is not gonna hurt it because you're not removing or scratching the seasoning. You can't scratch this skillet because it's case hardened. So you can use metal utensils in it without worry. So if you've got this paired with a stainless steel skillet, or you've got two of these, an 8 and a 10, something like that, all of your utensils can be stainless steel or steel, and you don't have to worry about it. Carbon steel, stainless steel, doesn't matter. It's not going to scratch that surface, and you can see that stuff just slides around that skillet. There's nothing stuck to the bottom. Now we're going to add a little bit more heat to this, get the potatoes frying good. Turn our heat up just a little bit here. All right, these dudes are starting to brown up nice now. So, about time to add a little seasoning to these bad boys. Get our pepper out here. Pepper them dudes real good. I like my pepper. And my go-to is soul food seasoning for salt. Get that on there. We're getting close. We're getting close. Oh yeah. Starting to fry nice now, boy. Perfect. Starting to fry up good. Now, next step here is just to give them a few more minutes, then we're going to add our final ingredients here. Oh, look at that. Man. Nice and brown. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. Now, I'm going to take some bacon here. Again, remember I said I wanted that stuff crunchy, right? That's because I want it to break up good in the skillet. Because we're making loaded fried potatoes. We got onions in here now, seasoning in here now. Got some bacon in here now. Golly. Looking so good. Man, oh man. All right. Ready for the coup de grace. Going right back to that Spanish cheese. We got enough left for another breakfast here. Get that right on there. Shaker town that dude. We ain't got much left. We'll use what we got. Okay. Just a way to recycle everything you're doing there. Now, here's what we're gonna do. We got this good and hot. We're gonna turn the heat down just a little bit on this. And I'm gonna go down to a kind of a low heat right there. And I'm gonna take my skillet lid, put that dude right on top to melt that cheese. Now, along with care on these skillets, you can talk about usability, right? So we got a fried potato dish in here that we made, loaded fried potatoes. And we've been cooking this thing for 20, 25 minutes, right? And this handle is bone cool. And the reason for that is that it's not connected directly to the skillet. You have a bracket connected directly to the skillet and it becomes a heat sink. And the handle is in the bracket, not against the skillet. So the handle never really sucks up any heat, and therefore it stays cold the entire time. All right, guys, time for the tasty reveal. Look at that. Money. Get ourselves a big old giant bowl here. Oh man, look at that. Load that dude in. And as you can see, there's nothing stuck to that skillet. I mean, nothing. So, yeah. We'll turn off our heat. Set the skillet off to the side. Leave our cover off of it for the time being. Set it up on the stove here. Let that cool down. We'll clean that skillet up. For now, man, do we have some food to eat here. Look at that thing. Golly. What a breakfast bowl that is, man. Lord. All right, so the final step is skillet care. We cooked in our skillet, and it's laying right here. All we do is get the food out the best we could. Now we're just gonna take a roll of paper towel and wad that dude up. And we're just gonna wipe that thing down, dump any excess out of it off to the side so it's gone. And if it takes a couple wads of paper towel to get this done, that's fine. But all you're doing is wiping it out. Especially if it's bacon grease or something like that, it's not gonna go bad anyway. Just wipe that thing down, wipe the outside down really good with that same grease off the rag. And this is the same way you would care for any other carbon steel skillet, whether it was cast iron, carbon steel, or something like this non-seasoned. The same thing, wipe it down with that grease when you're done. Set it off to the side, and it'll be fine. And you're ready to cook in it again. Now, you've got this rag that's full of this grease, right? Don't throw that away, because that is an excellent fire starter for your campfire the next morning if you're not cooking on a stove, because that grease is highly flammable. There's your skillet, ready to be put away. This is the 10-inch Pathfinder carbon steel skillet. Look at that mirror finish on that thing from that grease. You can see the foam in that dude. All right. So that's it. You can do the same thing with the lid. The lid's stainless steel, but if you've got the lid for that, just wipe it down really good. And you can store it on top of the skillet or store it separately depending on how you store your cook set. Again, guys, more daily vlog stuff for the most part. I had to come down here and shoot some little piece and parts for Self-Reliance Outfitters. It's important for us to maintain that Self-Reliance Outfitters YouTube channel as well. I would suggest you check that out. Matt Mercer posts videos on there. Some of my videos are on there. Some quick clips, tips, tricks, things like that are on there. I was putting some skillet tips and tricks on there today. So I was shooting that video, and while I was doing that, I was shooting this breakfast. And this breakfast bowl, get away from me, B. This breakfast bowl is awesome. The only thing it's missing is hot sauce. And I like them all. I like Tabasco. I like Cholula. I like Texas Pete's. I like them all. So we're gonna put some hot sauce on this dude. Good old Tabasco. We're gonna move the stove out of our way. All right, it's time for the old taste test. What cheese is nice and sticky in there. Love that. Oh man. Plenty of bacon in that. Oh man. Man, that is so good. That is a breakfast bowl to die for. That cheese. I appreciate you joining me out for this quick video today on making, this fried potato breakfast bowl. It's just an awesome breakfast. Some of this stuff is like leftover stuff, right? You got a couple potatoes left. You got a little bit of pancake mix left. You got an onion laying around that you haven't used yet and a half pack of bacon. Keep using those leftovers to make different types of breakfasts so that you change things up. But man, oh man, I'm telling you what, this is fantastic. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your support. I thank you for everything you do for our school, for our family, for our business. All our sponsors, instructors, affiliates, and friends. And I'll be back in another video as soon as I can, guys. Thanks.